Hey, good morning, y'all. It is Friday, January 18th, 2019, and you all just tuned in the Short Talks, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I know that you could be anywhere else in the world right now, but you're here with me. Not like here with me, but here with me, and I really appreciate it. I hope that you all have been enjoying the videos, even though I'd be looking like I just woke up. I literally just woke up. As always, went to sleep pretty late last night, 3:45, around 4 a.m. Something came over me to just like work on my personal branding and things like that. But anyways, this morning I try to not look at my phone first thing in the morning. Like I've gotten really good at it actually. Before when I was in school, like I'd roll over again and like this is the first thing I'd be doing. And I'm sure that's the same for a lot of people. But one thing that I wanted to share with all of you that has really helped me with the process. I'm sorry, I'm like, okay, garbage person. This just kind of helped me with the process and just staying sane. One of it is not looking at our phones in the morning. That has been such a big game changer for me because for me, when we look at our phones the first thing in the morning, our brains don't get a chance to actually just like wake up and just relax and just think. I kind of just lay here for 5-10 minutes sometimes, and I just let my brain wander. I just let my brain do what it does. I start thinking about the things I need to do for a day, and I start thinking about the things that I'm grateful for. I start talking to God. I start thinking about what needs to get done. I think about my vision. And I just start letting my brain do what it wants to do. And I let it happen for however long it wants to happen until I'm like, okay, I've covered everything. It's time to get to work. But one thing that I wanted to point out to all of you is a few things in my home that have really kept me positive and stuff that I continuously surround myself by. And so when I talk to you all about keeping our peace, it goes down to even the things we're literally surrounded by. And it's not just the people, it's not just the books, it's not just the music, it's not just the TV, it's not just the YouTube, it's not just the people we follow. It's so much more than that. And I just want to show you all of it because I feel like people think, I don't know, people are full of poop sometimes, you know what I mean? And nothing wrong with that. They're still figuring out their truths, but I just want to show you that like I've tried so hard to really cultivate what I'm about. And speaking of that, just come on a quick tour with me around my apartment. So, first things first, for those of you who are freshly adulting, invest in a good bed. Let me just tell you that. I love my bed. It's a Tuft and Needle. It was my first big purchase as an adult, and I would never go back. Like, I've slept on a twin bed from college until, like, 2014, so that's, like, a little under 10 years. But, like, I was okay with it. But your body's okay with it when you're young, but when you get older, it's like, you need a good bed, so get a Tuft and Needle. Plug sponsorship. Just kidding. I don't even know what that means. Okay, so first things first that you probably see in my apartment is not in my apartment, in my room when I'm waking up. First is my vision board. So it's not fully like developed. It's just things that I want to happen in my life eventually. As you can see, like health is a big thing for me. Like one day I will get a 6-pack. Not today because I'm not the best cook, and nor do I have a personal gym, but it can still happen, but I know that it'll happen later on in life. YouTube, making it big on YouTube or whatever the new platform is. My home, I just really love this home. Now, will that be my home? I don't know. Oprah being my mentor one day, or at least somebody in my life, along with Ellen up there. But actually, I kind of realized I wanted to be a combination between like the two of them, Gary Vee and The Rock. So maybe one day, we'll see. Some of the businesses I would like to own: coffee shop, clothing store, barbershop, and the places I would like to live, such as Seattle and San Diego and the such. So it's a very simple one, but if I could get that all done in my lifetime, that'd be super awesome. All right, next thing I want to show you all is this. Is a quote by Gary Vee. It says, "Complaining is easy, execution is hard." It just is like in big, bold letters and just kind of reminds me, like, okay, K.Short, like, get up, start executing, move on with your life. Next thing is this whiteboard that I have yet to update, but it's basically my goals for the years. But last year was really all about having fun. So some of it down here is like singing and the ukulele and things like that. But fortunately and unfortunately, during my time in Tucson, I actually figured out what I am here to do. So I didn't have to go through all this playing and figuring out if this is things that I was excited about. I just kind of left it there. But there's quite a few things on here that got crossed off that I'm really excited about, that got crossed off because they were completely necessary. Next thing is these quotes on my wall that are like falling off and things like that. But these quotes I've had since 2014. I just got them out of like a little rip calendar. And I've kept some of my favorite ones. They've come with me to 3 apartments now. And I just put them up because they just keep me positive, keep me lighthearted. I am the success story. You know, enthusiasm is the most important thing in life. Make yourself proud. Like, just these things that have really kept me going throughout the years. Another thing on here is my life calendar. You're like, okay, K.Short, we haven't even left your room yet. I know. This is why I just want to tell you, like, what? But I have a life calendar, and it's basically just a big calendar with a whole bunch of squares. If you're listening on my podcast, it's just a whole bunch of squares. I've blocked it out as to like what my life was like at that time. So like there's yellow, and that was like elementary school. There's blue, and it was middle school, and then there's red, it's high school. And then there's some darker dots in between that just kind of highlight key points in my life. That just kind of keeps life in perspective. Like if you could see, like it's supposed to go to 89, so that's 2079. Like, will I make it that far? I don't know, but it puts into perspective, like, that's how much time I have, quote unquote, but it could be taken away from me at any moment. Another thing is my graduation picture. You know, when you're walking across the stage, it just kind of reminded me of who I was at the highest peak of my life, I felt like. Maybe not mentally, emotionally, and as a human being, but just like what I was able to accomplish in the 5 years I was there. And if I could step my mind to something else, which is now my new endeavor, if I could put 5 years into it, then I can only imagine like what I can accomplish with it. So that's just a reminder of like, yo, K.Short, you was pretty dope in college. Don't forget that person. Life's gonna get rough, but that person's really important. Another thing is this habit tracker in my bathroom. So this month I wanted to focus on just getting in the habit of exercising. It didn't have to be like going to a gym. It didn't have to be like all these crazy things. I just wanted to get in the habit of like putting exercise into my life, you know? Another thing is this quote. Sometimes when I'm feeling sad, it just says things like, right now, at this very minute, someone is very proud of you. Someone is thinking of you. Someone cares about you. Someone misses you, et cetera, et cetera. Because, you know, living in Tucson by myself, I'm just like, man, do people even care? Like, no, like, they do. And just remember that people are thinking about you. Quotes. I have quotes around me all the time. They've really spoken to me. Words have really spoken to me my whole life. On this particular mirror, it says, if I don't go within, I go without. And that's just the reminder and focus that I need to focus on myself. Anyways, I'm talking too much early in the morning. This is literally the first thing I'm doing. Other things I'm surrounded by, these are pictures of me in college. And just again, reminding of myself and all the amazing connections I made while I was in school. It was a very important part of my life. It's really made me who I am today, and I'm just so grateful for it. And there's just some of my favorite people on that picture frame. This quote, doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. And that just has to remind me to keep failing forward over and over and over and over again. And then, you know, just little things on the little clipboard. It says, she turned her can'ts into cans and her dreams into plans, you know? And then most importantly, my workspace, just this desk and this whiteboard, like all of these quotes here, you know, it says the things that lead to success are these few components: focus, being good at something, passion, pushing, serving, persisting. Quotes such as, what is the next right move? Like, it doesn't have to be like this big old thing. It's just like, what is the next right move that I can do? A big one that has really helped me was like, let them pass you up. Let them pass you up. 1% a day equals 365% a year. The future depends on what I do today. Balance, and then the things I want to find balance in: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, etc. All of these things. And I think lastly I have is my plant. My plant makes me happy. But no, the last thing I have is literally when I walk out the door and it says, I promise myself. And I read this probably like once a week before I head out the door. And it says, I'll give you the short version. It says, I promise myself to be so strong that nothing could disturb my peace of mind, to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person I meet, to make all of my friends feel that there is something worthwhile in them, to look at the sunny side of everything and make my optimism come true, etc., etc. So, with that said, that's exactly what I wanted to show you all, is like, this whole mindset thing is not a joke. You know what I mean? Like, when I really say keep your peace, I really mean extract and declutter your mind of everything possible that that isn't contributing to it. And it also means surrounding your space with it, you know? And so I just wanted to share that with all of you, just because I think for some people, they're just like, hey, sure, I don't understand how you stay so positive. I don't understand how blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, it's down to the wire, you know? It's down to every little thing that you could possibly control, you know? And for me, the thing is, I'm willing to walk alone if other people aren't on the same page. I'm always more than willing to teach, but if people don't get it, that's okay. But for me, it's like, I am more than willing to walk alone if I know that I am going to keep my peace and that I'm not falling into bad habits and I'm not falling into things that are only going to hurt me, you know what I mean, or aren't going to be helpful later on in life. And so I know it's like super extra and super like out there, and like people are like, okay, you're crazy. You can think I'm crazy now, but I can tell you this, that the little things like this is what makes a big difference later on. So I just want to share that with all of you. So for those of you who are listening and you wanted a visual picture, come jump onto my YouTube channel and check out my apartment. I've kept it pretty simple. That's another thing, the let them pass you up part. Like, I've kept my apartment as simple as possible, and just surrounded myself with things that I like. And it didn't have to be expensive furniture. Like, I have everything I need, and you know, I'm comfortable in it. You know, it just reminds me of my room when I was younger. A little less posters of like NSYNC and Christina Aguilera, but it's still very much like my stuff that I've always been surrounded by, and things that have always excited me and continue to excite me. And so let them pass you up. You know what I mean? Like, just having to remember, like, this is our personal journey and no one is on this journey with us. And at the end of the day, it's great when people join along, but at the same time, sometimes you're going to be by yourself, and that's okay, you know? So I just want you all to really take, like, your mental health to, like, the next level. Like, it really, like, this is really what it is, you know? It's our mental health and being able to protect it and to take care of it. And that means not only decluttering things in your physical life, but decluttering things in your mental life. And that means not looking at our phones in the morning. And that means being conscious of the things we're putting into our minds and the things that our minds are constantly consuming unsubconsciously in our spaces and places. So I hope this helped a little bit. Again, it's a little early. My mouth was like, blah, 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 blah. It's going to be jumbled up a little bit, but I just wanted to share that with all of you in hopes that it helps one of you in your process of becoming the best version of yourself. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your time and patience. Thank you for being on this journey with me. This is all that this has been. Even my YouTube channel is not even my official YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has literally been just the background work, the process and the journey of getting to where I want to be. I haven't even started yet, y'all. This is literally just a vlog, a documentation of all the things I've done to get to where I want to be. And I'm not even there yet. Haven't even started. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to continue to follow this journey, make sure to do so on social media at K.Short, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Anchor, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on YouTube, wherever you want to follow it, make sure to do so. And again, thank you so much for your time and attention, and make sure to tune into the next episode for another lesson, realization, and experience damn, I messed that one up. Another lesson, oh man, what do I say? Another lesson, realization, and experience from my daily life. Bye, y'all.